I'd like to sincerely congratulate Salona Hufunga and Dre Greenlaw on their call up from the AAA 49ers to the big league club of the Denver Broncos. Nah, just kidding. Jokes aside, Broncos have made some moves here in these first 2 days of free agency, as well as some re-signings that we are going to get into. Welcome back to Crushin' It. I am hitting the audio-only format for at least a little bit. I think it'll help streamline putting some content out in that manner. I know we've been a little bit absent lately. I know I did miss a good amount of some of the early moves of the offseason, so I'm probably not going to touch over those. I'm just going to touch here on free agency for this episode. We might get into some other things later on down the line, but I do just want to say that it is great to be back. If you have enjoyed my content in the past, or if you're new and you're discovering me this way, a like and a subscribe or a subscription from you, God, if I can speak, would be greatly appreciated. Now, without any further preamble, let's get into things. All right, so to start things out, we are going to start with the sad parts, with the departures from Denver. Firstly, one that I called all season, maybe not called, but one that everyone knew was coming, was Javonte Williams. He signs a 1-year deal in Dallas. Jarrett Stidham, he re-signs, so I guess not a loss here. I'm reading the list. But Zach Wilson, maybe taking his own financial interest into account, he will take a 1-year deal with the Dolphins. I believe that is worth up to $10 million for him there, so he'll be a backup to Tua Tagovailoa. Meanwhile, special teams ace Tremon Smith will sign a 2-year deal with the Texans, so that's a bit of a hit to Denver. Probably the biggest hit so far out of any of this, though, has been the loss of Cody Barton. He played really solid football for Denver last year. He was good in the run game, made some plays with interceptions, fumble returns, the like, what have you. He signs a 3-year deal with Tennessee. Also, Riley Dixon is lost to Tampa Bay, so that puts Denver now in a position where they got to make up a little bit of room here. We all knew Javonte Williams was out the door, so that's not the real surprise. Zach Wilson, one of the quarterbacks we're likely to go this year. I'm not surprised at Zach. I am a little, I don't know how to feel about the Stidham contract. I'll get into that later. Not sure how to feel about that contract. I'm glad we still have, our quality backup, a guy that the coaches like. The loss of Tremon Smith does suck a little bit. He was good on special teams last year, just a good depth corner as well. Cody Barton, I already touched on that. Riley Dixon, I'm not as mad about. I think a lot of people are a little over worried about the loss of Riley Dixon. Ryan Stonehouse is getting released, so I think, him and Denver are kind of like a match made in heaven here. Dixon was really inconsistent. His highs were high, but his lows were low. He was really like an either or here. You either got a bunch of kicks pinned inside the 5, or you got like a 30-yard punt that put the other team on their own 40. So Dixon, he, good, solid 2 stints in Denver. I'm not super hurt with his loss right now. Some guys that haven't been re-signed or tendered or anything. You've got Justin Stranad, Michael Burton, and then Lil Jordan Humphrey. And I know Humphrey is negotiating with Denver. I believe him and his agent, Jordan, looking to transition to sort of a tight end joker thing. I don't know how that would work out, but that could be interesting. Now we look at who they have retained here. They got DJ Jones. He signed, I believe it was a 3-year, $30-something million deal or something. I can go pull up the source real quick. Yeah, 3-year, $39 million, 26 in guaranteed money. So good signing right there. Happy to have DJ Jones back. Not surprised they brought him back. Meanwhile, again, like I touched on a second ago, Jarrett Stidham comes back. It's a $12 million contract, I believe. And so I'm kind of intrigued at the rationale of giving Stidham a raise a little bit, because we brought him in last time on a 2-year, $10 million deal to fight for a starting job. He lost that. I'm surprised they didn't let him test the market. And so to give him a raise, I'm a little shocked. I'm not too pissed off, though, that we still have our backup quarterback. So, I'm okay with that as things stand. at the moment, and I lost my tab here. Give me just a sec. All right, anyways, as I was saying, Matt Parrott also comes back. Good little swing tackle that we've had. He was in a lot in jumbo packages. He's the sixth offensive lineman here, especially in the jumbo packages. He has a good special teams role. Why kill a good thing? You know? So Matt Parrott's back. We've also got long snapper Mitchell Fraboni. He was a restricted free agent. He resigns. Lucas Kroll gets tendered. He's an extended rights free agent, I believe. Dondre Tillman also reserved. Glad to see that. He had some good plays last year. Looked really good in the rotation. IDL Jordan Jackson gets tendered by the Broncos. I feel the same about him. Jaquan McMillan gets tendered as well. And then, shockingly, Devon Key also gets tendered by the Broncos. I felt he was definitely a bit of a liability. Maybe they see something in him that the fans don't. He was a rough, interesting watch at times last year. So what have they done out of house? Well, as I mentioned earlier, they brought in some defensive help. Firstly, they sign safety Talanoa Hufanga to a 3-year deal worth up to $45 million. That's going to be $20 in guaranteed money. I like this. I like both of these signings, and I don't. I do because there's a lot of high upside here. These are all-pro, Pro Bowl level guys. The problem is they're injury prone. Now I have some faith in Denver, however, because they have been one of the healthier teams over the past couple of years after I think some of the personnel kind of shifts and rearrangements a little bit. So if Denver can get these guys and keep them healthy, then that's going to be huge, and they might have got this 2 steals of free agency, and maybe I'm a little too high on this. Let me know in the comments down below. But well, who's the other guy? Well, I mentioned him earlier as well. Dre Greenlaw to a 3-year deal worth $35 million. Dre Greenlaw was a one-man wrecking crew at times for the 49ers last year, and paired up with Fred Warner, that was just an immaculate tag team duo. Dealt with an Achilles thing that kept him out of 23, and it lingered, keeping him out of the majority of the games in 2024. So the hope is that he's able to get healed up nicely. He's been able to take that time, rehab it well, and hopefully Denver has an absolute stud that they can stick in the defense now. So what do we got for rumors? And again, this is as of March 11th, 2025 at 2:32 p.m. Mountain Time. So this is as of this. So if something happens after this, I guess I'm a little bit cooked here. But some of the news and rumors here: Nick Bonito for an extension. He reportedly wants $23 million a year. Not surprising, coming off a huge year. Zach Allen wants a contract extension that could be worth as much as $25 million per year, and these are via. Hang on, let me pull up the link here. First one, Nick Bonito, is Zach Stevens, I believe, a DNVR. And then the Zach Allen info is from Chris Thomason over on Twitter. I refuse to call it X. Like I mentioned earlier, Lil Jordan Humphrey's agent, they're more than optimistic, that's in quotes, that Humphrey will re-sign. He also said, and this is where this info came from, that Humphrey is adding weight to try to play some tight end. And that comes from also Chris Thomason. So that is his as well. Denver Gazette's, once again, Chris Thomason. He called Juwan Johnson a realistic option, but I do believe that Johnson signed elsewhere, I want to say. Yeah, Saints re-signed him, and that's like 40-something minutes ago. So no Juwan Johnson. Evan Ingram visited Denver yesterday. No contract agreement was reached, which is a little unfortunate because I know a lot of people are wanting Evan Ingram here. We've been talking him up like he's the second coming of Tony Gonzalez or something. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you know what I mean. We're having fun here. And then I was talking about this in the, I want to say, Chat Sports Broncos breakdown chat earlier, and this is Chris Thomason as well, that the Broncos have expressed interest in Denzel Perryman, Chargers linebacker. And then another source indicated that they might be interested in Cooper Kupp if he is released. That is DNVR Zach Stevens. So good on him. And God, I closed out the tab again. We were almost, but let me go find that. There was one more item on that I wanted to hit on. Oh, and then they have reached out to special teams standout Justin Hardy. He's got ties to Peyton and Darren Rizzi. That was reported by, if Twitter will load, Luca Evans. So they are definitely looking for a gunner to replace Traymon Smith, and I think that would be a pretty decent move there as well. And with Darren Rizzi in the Denver Saints 49ers coaching staff, I don't think it would be a bad move. Now, some moves that I do expect them to make, I do expect them to sign another linebacker. I do expect them to find a tight end one way or another. I don't know if that's going to be Evan Ingram or anything. I would be shocked if they're interested in Cooper Kupp, but I think Cooper might be asking for a little bit too much money for Denver to really want to swoop in. Again, I could be wrong. These takes could age poorly. These takes could age very poorly. But with that being said, that is all I've got here for this episode of Crushin' It. Let me know what you guys think of the new format, new everything down below. Like the video. Again, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.